What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Isabel, and I'm so grateful you chose to click play and spend this episode with us. This is the podcast where we chat all things mindset, manifestation, meditation, marketing, personal branding, quantum leaping. Honestly, the list goes on and on. And this is going to be a business/marketing episode. So to all of my girls out there who have a business, who want to start a business, or who are just very entrepreneurial minded and like this type of content, this is going to be the episode for you. I'm going to be shining the light on business and marketing tips that I wish I knew sooner. So I just got off a coaching call with a lovely client of mine, Brie. We have actually been working together since April. So it's December as I'm recording this now. So long-term coaching, long-term clients are just, it's such a beautiful connection that you really can build with people. And when I got off our call, it really got me thinking on this topic. So this is exactly why I decided to pick up my mic straight after the coaching call and share these insights with you. But before we do get into it, I just want to say, guys, if you're not already in the society, which is my private Facebook group, you need to get in there. This is the place for other like-minded women who want to level up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, all the good things in life. So the link for that will be in the show notes. That is my private Facebook group. So let's jump into this. I want this to be such a straight to the point, juicy episode. So these are things that I wish I knew 12 months ago, but instead I had to go through a very tumultuous, tough year to figure out all these things on my own, but that's totally fine because now here we are with the podcast episode that is most likely going to help a lot of you out there. So number one, do not be scared to niche down. I used to think that it was better for me to serve many people. So to serve quantity over quality. I had to actually think about that for a moment. So there's many reasons why I was scared to niche down and why you're most likely scared to niche down. It's because we don't want to cancel out quote unquote potential people that we can work with because maybe there's a deep rooted fear, something so much deeper. It's this like scarcity mentality. It's saying that like, well, if I only say I can help group A, there's no way I can help all these other people. When in fact, imagine being known as the market leader in your niche. So here's a really great real life example. You're going to the doctor and say you're going to get a nose job. Now you are going to go to a nose job specialist, right? Most likely. You're not just going to want to go to a general specialist. Yeah, this is a general doctor who just does general, plastic surgery jobs on every part of the body. You're most likely going to feel so much more supported and comfortable and sure of your decision of investing if you go to somebody who specializes in that thing that you want. So when I really wrapped my head around this concept, I was like, okay, let me position myself as this specialist, yes, who also helps this specific group of people. When I first started my business, I was very vague in who I helped. I said males and females because I knew I had some males in my community who I could help and who did show an interest. And then at the same time, I said I could help both service business owners and also product-based business owners. And I did a bit of work for product-based business owners and it just was not my thing. And it's like I had to go through that to realize that. Whereas now I'm more clear. I pretty much only want to work with females and people who have a service-based business because that is my specialty. That is how I can give my best service. Therefore, my client is going to get the best results. So don't be too scared to niche down. Number 2, reverse engineer your plan. This sounds so damn simple, and it is so damn simple because once we know, this is me personally, I'm sure a lot of you guys can resonate. Once we know the things to do, we most likely are going to do those things. However, by not having clarity, by feeling stuck, by having our own personal blocks get in our way, we're not going to do those things. And I see this a lot with a lot of the clients that I coach as well on our calls. A lot of my coaching, my brand is start somewhere, right? So a lot of my coaching are these step-by-step processes. What is the next step to take? And we always create some kind of action plan, really clear goals. What are those next steps they can do right now? Because if we got no idea what to do and we just have this vague vision in our mind, we're most likely not going to get to where we want to be. And I'm going to share an example of this process in regards to money mapping. So I'm sure we all would love to receive a beautiful amount of money coming into our life, right? This is for my business people especially. Say, for example, we want to receive $20,000. Okay, cool. It's all well and good to sit back and manifest and journal and be like, yep, 20K, I'm going to bring it in. Okay, but do you know the plan to get there? Have you reverse engineered your plan? And I'm going to give out so much gold right now. This is what I do in a specific coaching call with a few of my clients, with my mastermind girls actually recently. It's been like, okay, we have our financial goal. Now let's look at what we are selling. What are our offers? Now, what are the pricing points of these offers? Okay, now let's get clear as well. We got this goal. What is the time frame we are giving ourselves to achieve this? Are we just saying, yeah, one day? Or are we being more clear and specific? Because the thing is, be clear and specific in order to get this goal. Pick a date. You're most likely going to feel resistance. It's going to feel fearful. It's going to feel stretchy because you're putting it out there, which means that there's a slim chance you might not get it. And because you've put it out there, you don't want to let yourself down. So you play it small by not putting it out there. You play it small by not putting a date to it. This used to be me, guys. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick a date. I want you to pick a date that feels reasonable, realistic, yes, but it also stretches you. So if saying 6 months, you're like, that's 6 months, ages away. I can chill, I can breathe. Make that 4 months. Make it stretchier for you where it's still possible, but at the same time, it kind of makes you want to pay yourself because you're like, I actually need to do something here to get this goal. And if I don't, am I going to let myself down? But the thing is, you're not failing by not achieving. You're only failing by quitting. You're only failing by not actively working towards achieving that. I can't tell you how many times I've set a financial goal and not achieved it, but I haven't stopped. And I get there eventually in the end. When I first started my business, especially in the coaching space, I know not everyone listening is a coach. This applies to everything else, but specifically, I would see all these things, and I'm sure a lot of people can resonate. We see this glamorized 10K month as like this beautiful like golden egg to achieve, right? And so when you first start out, you see everyone posting about this and talking about this. And so, either consciously or subconsciously, you start to be like, yep, this is exactly what I'm going to strive towards. And I had this, in my vision board as an affirmation, journaling, like it was my goal for so many months, but I hadn't done what I'm sharing with you now. I hadn't reverse engineered my plan as to how to get there. So I wasn't clear. I hadn't set myself a date. And then secondly, I wasn't clear on, okay, what I'm selling and the prices and then the quantity that I need to sell. And then funny story, this shows like how real and how, this stuff just isn't magic. Like you do have to put in the work. When I did get clear on what this was and I was like, cool, I've got my financial goal. Oh my God, I'm just realizing like the goal I set 2 months ago has actually come true. I got my financial goal and I'm clear about, okay, these are my services. And now I'm reverse engineering it. These are how many offers I need to sell in order to achieve my goal. And I set this and I didn't achieve it that much. I didn't achieve it that month. And I didn't achieve it the month after, but I achieved it the month after that. And so I so easily could have been like, oh my gosh, but I reverse engineered my plan. I did the mindset work and I didn't get my goal. I'm just going to quit. If you quit, that's when you're, I don't want to say failing in a bad way, but like, yeah, you're not going to get there. But it's that piece of picking yourself up when you don't achieve it and tweaking and believing in yourself and going again and again and again. So money mapping is it's such a big part of what I do in my coaching because if you don't have a clear step-by-step, you're never going to get there. And the thing is, we don't need to get caught up in the how and we don't need to get caught up in every single step. It's what is the first step right now? And then once you take that step, the next one becomes clearer. And then maybe you see 10 steps ahead of you and you quantum leap. And you take up those 10 steps. And then the next steps become clearer and repeat. And then you compound time. And then 20 steps become clearer. And then before you know, you've manifested, you've caught in a whole staircase. And then you quantum leap even further. However, you're going to feel resistance when you start, which is why Start Somewhere is here. You're going to feel resistance to take that first step. And so I hope this podcast inspires you. If you're like, I need to get in Isabel's world with coaching, that will most definitely help you quantum leap as well. I mean, my whole life at the moment is quantum leaping. So it only makes sense for my clients to start to receive those results as well, which is so amazing to like witness that. It's the coolest thing in the world. And so eventually we start to get this whole staircase. But you best believe I had no idea what it would be like where I am at now on my staircase 12 months ago. Like, not even a single glimpse. Like I had a vision, yes. Like I knew what I wanted my life to look like, but I didn't know the exact steps to get there. Like for example, with Sala, the app that I'm involved in, I had no idea, like Sala has been such a big part, like so many steps in my journey this year. But I could not predict Sala was going to be that for me this time last year. So it's like, and the reason I'm sharing this is because it's not up to us to figure out the how. It's up to us to be like, yeah, I am willing to take those steps. I am willing to reverse engineer my plan and to map it out and to not be fearful, to niche down and really just own what it is I'm doing. Because thirdly, the last thing that I wish I knew way sooner in business and marketing is be open to new ideas and new ways of doing things, especially in your early days. Be a sponge to learning. Be a sponge to consuming content and motivational and inspirational, podcasts and this and that. Because I can't tell you how many times when I do this, I get my own ideas. And it is such a fine line of being open, but then not comparing ourselves, because that the point isn't about self-comparison. The point is about finding things that are inspiring you and just hearing new ways that people are doing things. But then it's like the missing, like the secret kind of silver lining between all of this is because we can so easily get swayed by what people are doing and think we need to copy them. But instead, take that as inspiration and then just be like, okay, cool, it's out of my life. What's next? Get inspired by these things. And I was on a coaching call the other day actually with another client of mine. And we're having this conversation that she was comparing herself to other people in her same industry. And when I started to really establish myself more so, I was being what I just shared. I was being this sponge for new ideas, new ways of thinking. But I want to preface, this is only good for, not only good, but this is really valuable for a short period of your time because you will start to compare yourself to other people who are doing what you're doing. And the reason I share this is because I was doing this for a long time, actually subconsciously. I'm very self-aware, so I know when I am comparing myself. But at the same time, nobody is a perfect, enlightened human being, and this stuff does show up in hidden ways. And I realized that I was tweaking and altering so much of who I am and my brand based on what I saw other people in my industry doing who were quote unquote more successful than me. I'm like, oh, well, it's working for them, so it's going to work for me. But this is where we lose the piece of authenticity. And a theme in every single one of my clients, they all come to me and they all say, I want that authentic content. And the beauty about investing in coaches and learning from other people, like as an example with my coaching, it's providing those frameworks, it's providing that masculine energy, those systems. This is a proven strategy. Like it's giving you examples and giving you proof. But then it's up to you to use your discernment and to add your authentic touch to it, to create it your own, to make it your own. Otherwise, we're just living in this cycle of rinse and repeat. Everyone is just the exact same replication of everybody else. It's like, where is the joy? Like, where is the duality in that? It's, learning, like content like this and other podcasts and books and other people out there. It's there to learn from, right? Like we are there to learn and to inspire and to teach. But then it's adding your own spin to it, your own flavor. And that, my friend, is your brand. That is your branding. That is what makes you authentic. And I was on a call with a client quite a while ago, actually. So shout out to her for this. And Brie, I'm going to say her name. And Brie was saying, we're talking about being yourself. And she said this great thing, and it just like struck out so much to me. And she goes, it's scary being yourself because nobody else is doing it. And think about that for a second. It's so easy for us to copy other people. Like, think of fashion trends, like Kim K, she sets the scene so much with this type of stuff. Even like hairstyles, you know, how we do things, how we act, what we say. It's so easy to copy people because it's been done before. So there's like this sense of safety. And whether you realize it consciously or subconsciously or not, we do it because we know that we are going to fit in, because other people are doing it, and coming back to the safety piece. However, if we're being ourselves, there isn't another human out there who is you. Therefore, it's going to feel quite unknown to be you. How interesting is that? And so the way we can navigate this emotion and make it feel so effortless to be ourselves is confidence. It's being sure of ourselves. It's owning those things that we want in our life. And there's going to be resistance when you start to do these things because we're not used to doing these things. And, you know, I did a podcast episode saying that 2022 was the year of quantum leaps for me. And it totally was. And I just know, like, I'm constantly quantum leaping, and it's getting better. It's getting easier for me to do this now. But there was so much resistance at the start. And I think now it's so effortless for me to quantum leap because I know who I am, and I own what it is I want. And it's confidence yet again, right? Like putting yourself out there, speaking your mind, sharing insights, that kind of thing. Like that involves a level of confidence. And I just want you guys to know, I did not always used to be like this. My podcast has made me so confident. Like, I don't think I would be the person I am right now if I didn't have this platform to share what I say with you guys and to put myself out there. And like, that took a lot of courage for me to do this. But at the same time, I shared this in a recent episode as well. I don't remember which one, but I just know this is so much what I'm supposed to be doing. Like it's a huge part of my purpose. And, you know, I just get these downloads, I get these messages, I get these ideas. Like it's such an effortless thing for me to do because I know it's a part of like my path. You know, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to go there and say it. And it's like look at the results I've gotten from me stepping out and doing the thing that I want to do. Like, look at the life I've been able to create for myself. And it's so interesting. I was thinking about this not too long ago. When I was at school, when I was at uni, even when I was working for somebody else, I was such a below average student and such a below average worker in terms of like my grades were like so average. I passed, but like I just did so average. And like the thing is, I put in a lot of work. Like I was not slack. Like I did a lot of work, always did my homework. Like I did the things. Even at my other jobs, I, you know, rarely slacked off. I did a lot of work, but I wasn't getting the results in which I should have gotten. And it didn't bother me that much because I knew it's not what I was supposed to do. Like, yeah, I went to school, I went to uni. I got a few jobs after uni with my degree. But I just knew deep down, I'm like, this isn't it. Like, this is just a stepping stone for me. Like, I know I'm meant to be working for myself. I know when I do step out and being my zone of genius, it's going to be so effortless. And it's so funny because I really look back. By the way, I'm getting so much better at like celebrating myself because I seriously don't do it. And I'm really being so like such a proud mother bear of myself, which is so important to really see like what I've achieved and just like own it and be like, I did that. And I think it's so interesting because it's like I was never this like achiever kind of person in school or in uni or in my other jobs. Like I almost got fired from one of my jobs because I wasn't performing very well, even though I was putting so much effort and work into it. But it's like I knew deep down, I'm like, I don't care about this job anymore because they're not valuing me. And because I know I'm meant to work for myself. I'm not meant to be in this place. I almost got fired. We have this thing called an ATAR, which is like your SACE. I think it may be different like every school in Australia, but it's like your year 12 grades. You know, I worked so hard and I got such an average grade. I went to uni, I worked so hard on all my assignments and like average yet again. And I just think it's so interesting because now I look at my business and it's just like, it's booming. Like I'm succeeding. Like I know I'm excelling because this is my zone of genius. And so find what your zone of genius is. And if you're at a place where you're like, maybe you can relate, maybe you're not doing as good in your workplace or school or uni, wherever you're at, what else are you meant to do? Like, can you tap in and can you recognize that? I'm not sure how I'll get onto that story, but clearly I was meant to share it. So guys, I'm going to leave this here. I really want to start to have some more shorter episodes, just, to please everyone, no matter if you want something longer or shorter. But these are my 3 business and marketing tips that I wish I knew sooner. So number 1, do not be scared to niche down. Number 2, reverse engineer your plan. How are you going to get to where it is you want to go? And number 3, be open to new ways of doing things, new ideas, with a side note of not comparing, staying in your own lane. So if you enjoyed this episode, guys, I would appreciate it so much if you could please leave a rating and review on the podcast app where you choose to listen to. And if this episode really sparked a lot of ideas, it really got your mind thinking, you are a business owner, you want to be a business owner, or you're just super entrepreneurial thinking, slide in my DMs and maybe my coaching, one of my packages is perfect for you. This is like honestly just the tiniest glimpse as to what it's like in my coaching, what I take you through. I'm really all about those step-by-step plans because it's so easy to, consume an episode just like this or anything else business related or just anything really and get so overwhelmed and think like, oh, I need to do all this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And then you're most likely not going to do anything because you're feeling overwhelmed. And so I just want to bypass that feeling altogether and create a step-by-step plan. And everything is just so personalized for all my clients because we're all just such different humans. We all learn differently. We all work differently. We all have different lifestyles and schedules. And I just so wholeheartedly believe in building this personalized, unique approach for each of my clients so they can get to where it is they want to be. So if you're like, oh my gosh, give me this, I need this, I want to learn more, message me, slide in my DMs. My link for my Instagram will be in the show notes. And I am going to love you and leave you here. I appreciate your support of the podcast so much. I look forward to chatting with those of you who are keen in my DMs. And I will see you in our new episodes, which go live every single Monday. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more, keep up with us on socials. We are at startsomewhere.podcast and Isabel Prestia on Instagram, and join our Facebook group, the Start Somewhere Society.